Hi, welcome back to the Potato Museum Show with Tom and Meredith. Our topic, obviously, is potato festivals and days, and we have known about potato days for many years, but in recent weeks have learned that they exist in greater number than we ever knew.
Yeah, so we had this shirt for years, the Mantua Potato Festival, not that we've been there, and they were known for the Potato Stomp 15-kilometer race, and we collected somehow, without going there, the Mantua Potato Festival.
And where was
pin.
that?
It's in Ohio.
Okay.
And here's this wonderful little pin that they produced. Somebody years ago contacted us about the Wayland Potato Festival up in upstate New York. Look at that, August 1989, they were telling us, maybe promoting their thing. We also knew about, or collected this poster, the Potato Day, Carbondale, Colorado, near Aspen. Used to be a big potato producing area during the mining days, and then potatoes stopped growing there. So we know a little bit about the festivals. Meredith said we like it a lot more now. There are a lot of places in the western U.S. named per potato. The French were exploring out in the Midwest Mississippi area, and they named places like this, Lake Pomme de Terre, Missouri. And here's Pomme de Terre Golf Course. I think this is in Minnesota or Wisconsin. What's Pomme de Terre, Meredith?
Pomme de terre in French means apple of the earth, and it does mean that in other languages as well. But pomme de terre is French, yes, for potato.
So there's a lot of places named potato. We're going to do a whole nother show on that. Here's Potato Creek in North Liberty, Indiana. Now this is a place that was apparently some sort of wild potato was growing there, and that's how they got this name. And they actually did start a potato festival. So they have a place named Potato, and they also have a festival. We're going to do a little bit more about that. Then there's Potato City, Potter County, Pennsylvania, and we're going to do a whole show about them. We have lots of memorabilia about them, but they don't have a festival, so we're going to move on from that. Years ago, the people at Barnesville, Minnesota contacted us. Here's the letter telling us about their festival, which is a wonderful one. We're going to do an entire program on them because I'm really informed and proud of what they do about a very potato-centric event. Here again is here's the Shelley Spud Day. They've been doing that for years in Idaho, and we actually have collected some of the pins.
And that's Uncle Spud.
There's Uncle Spud there. This is now known as the Idaho Spud Day. I think they've renamed it. Look at all these pins that Spud Day is different year. So this is a memorabilia-rich subject, potato festivals and potato days. But again, looking into our archives, very little about it, but we're going to rectify that soon by maybe attending some of these. Here's somebody sent us this cookbook from the what is it? Michigan, home of the Michigan State Potato Festival. Potato Magic is a lovely little book, recipe book, and all that. Here's just to show you how much we have collected about Potato City, and it has a really interesting story about potato research. We're going to do that on another show. So join us for another show. Now, what we have known is that in Maine they have had the Maine Potato Blossom Festival for years and years, because the Spudman and other magazines focused on the potato industry have always been putting these potato blossom queens on their cover. There she is with the potato blossoms. So we're going to go now.
In 1975,
They're
by
still
the way.
doing that festival. We're going to learn about
Well,
it.
yeah, okay.
So let's move back into the slideshow. Here's some of the logos. I'm going to move it so that the light doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so there's the Barnesville logo. See? I love it. All right, so let's go to the slides. So here's how potato festivals and days began. In potato growing areas, people would, after the harvest, they would bring the potatoes into town to shipping points or storage points. This is Barnesville, actually, in the old days. And so people would gather. They were in town. They were bringing the harvest in, and they would gather and have a group meal and maybe a dance. This was 1909 in Colorado, Carbondale. By 1913, they had a program, 4th Annual Potato Day, prizes. Look at the activities they had here. Barbecue, baby show, sports, ball game, horse
Baby
races.
show.
Yeah, cute little babies, I guess. So these things progress. So somebody would say, well, look, everybody's in town. Let's have a parade. Let's have some contests. Let's
Look at
have
those
a concert.
hard-working women
So look here.
peeling.
Yeah, so they would have speed potato collecting
Not that
contests.
guy, these people.
I'm going to get to them. So here he is. This again is in Barnesville. And people would gather to watch who could be the fastest potato picker. And then they had contests to see who could peel potatoes the fastest. So these festivals, or a day, at least they were originally a day, had a very potato-centric activities. Next. So now in Barnesville, for instance, and these other places, kids are doing the speed potato collecting. They're doing different potato sack races. And look here, they're eating, I think they're eating mashed potatoes, speed mashed potato event. So these kind of things have expanded to be very activity filled with potato themes. One of the things that we found out is that, certainly in Carbondale, but other places, they have contests to be peeling potatoes into sculpturing them. And look at this one. This is going to be a whole nother show too. This is a whole form of potato activity that we're just learning about, is sculpting potatoes. And then here they, in Carbondale, no, I know it's Carbondale or Barnesville, kids get to make a potato race car. They supply the wheels, and then they race them down the ramp.
Of course, as one does.
That's fun. Next. In some places, they're doing contests, for cooking contests. This one is making lefse. It's a potato bread with using a special. We're going to be doing an entire.
What are those girls doing?
We're going to do an entire show on lefse making, potato bread. Activities, lots of common activities now in these festivals are wrestling in mashed potatoes. And you can see that. Dress up. This is following the famous image of Marilyn Monroe wearing a potato sack dress. And so here are these women. This is actually in Australia.
Is that little dog wearing a potato dress?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Look at that.
So that's fun. Now, and then one of the feature of these potato days or festivals is parades. In the old days, look at this. This is a
1951
vehicle.
potato picking champion.
Well, that's this guy over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he's in the parade. This car is completely decorated with potatoes. That's just crazy. I love it. So again, nowadays, people gather for meals. They gather for a parade. They gather for all sorts of activities. Here's the Klamath Basin Potato Festival and these are the Queen's Court. There's always been that
And
aspect
where's that?
of it. It's in Colorado, southern Colorado. And you can see here, we talked about that, the Maine Potato Blossom Festival, and they still have pick queens and little queens and bigger queens. And this shows the Maine Potato Blossom Festival. You can read this when you get this video, but this is an interview with the first potato blossom queen, and it says that this thing started in, when was it? 1920s, 1930s. All right, so this is, this now is currently, it's in Fort Fairfield every year now, and here's the Maine Potato Blossom Festival, and they've got these potato barrels, which is the old way of collecting them. We've done a whole show on Maine potato barrels. You can see that. And here's this display announcing that, I love this, the Maine Potato Company, Wood Prairie Organic, they grow organic certified potatoes, and they've done a special Potato Blossom Festival seed packet. And this is just some of the wonderful graphics that this company comes up with to promote their products. So we already mentioned the Idaho Annual Spud Day. It used to be known as the Shelley Spud Days, but now it's the Idaho Spud Days, and they have, look at the range of activities they're doing. Then we mentioned also the Mantua Potato Festival, which continues, and it actually started really quite a long time ago. They were growing a lot of potatoes in the Mantua area for the Cleveland market, and they discontinued the show, and then It ceased in the 1940s, and then they started up again. Here's an early program of the Manitoba Potato Show, not in our collection. And now the Manitoba Potato Festival, as wonderful posters and information. They were the ones that originally came up with the idea of wrestling in mashed potatoes as a kind of an activity for them. This is wonderful. This is Wayland. I mentioned that earlier in upstate New York. And these are the King and Queen. They feature some oldsters, not such young people. And here's the button collection of the Wayland Potato Festival. Upstate New York also, in the Syracuse area, has a tradition of cooking potatoes or boiling potatoes in salt. And the Salt Potato Festival is something that is, and it's a very much interesting regional delicacy, which we're going to do a whole nother show on.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are we doing 100 other shows?
Yeah. So here's a Spud Festival in Washington County. Forgotten where that is. Spud Fest.
Downtown Tennessee. No, Maryland, it says.
Oh, that's right, Maryland. Yeah.
Sorry.
Didn't know about this one. Next. And look at this. Yeah, this one is in Ohio. Didn't know about this one. The Potato Festival, the Dayton Potato Festival. Oh, can you go back to just one? Go back, please. And then this one is Spring Valley, Ohio. So they've got 3 potato festivals I've never really, only one of them I heard about. This is the one in Pennsylvania. Again, new to us, but they're doing lots of great things with their potato. Again, this is another region that grew a lot of potatoes, and they have started their festival. This one, I think, is in West Virginia, Nicholas County, and they have great graphics to promote their activities, and they have lots of different things to get people involved, including the Tater Tot Sundae eating contest. I don't know, Tater Tot Sundae. It was ice cream with tater tots on the top. Again, this one is in Alabama. Again, we think of in Alabama, you think of sweet potatoes. No, they grew the white Irish potatoes in Alabama, in this town in Alabama, and they have a festival around July 1st. This is interesting. This is a festival in Illinois, and they do all the same things, the contests, but they also have a tradition there of potato rocks. These are rocks that were smoothed by the flow of the creek or the river through there, and they find these things in fields, and they look like potatoes because they dig them up. They have the potato shape. So they have this whole rock potato festival, which is, got to learn more about it. And then here we just mentioned the Klamath Basin. They grow a lot of potatoes in southern Oregon. Look at this, a wonderful graphic for them promoting Merle, Oregon. Then you've got a potato festival in Manhattan, Montana. You've got one in the San Luis Valley, Colorado. And then this one's in Kodiak Island, Alaska, where they used to grow, I think they still grow some potatoes, but there again, it shows you from Alabama to Alaska, and Maine to California, you've got potato festivals. This one is Paris, California. Look at them, they're making electricity with potatoes, and they're decorating them. This one is every day, once a year, they get people together in the state government in Washington State to promote the potato industry. It's not really exactly a festival, but it's celebrating their industry.
Wow.
North Carolina, Elizabeth City, right in the far northeastern part of North Carolina. They've done great graphics each year, different theme. Sometimes they're pirate themes. And look at this, the whole downtown part of Elizabeth City is taken over by the Potato Festival. They're having a lot of fun in there with their potatoes. This is the Cabbage, Potato, and Bacon Festival in Hastings, Florida. Hastings, Florida used to grow a lot of potatoes in the winter for the northern market. They would be shipped out by trains, and so they've revived that. And then there's another place, Burrell, Florida, Potato Festival. Then there's Williams, Minnesota, which is on the far north, right on the Canadian border. And then they had a potato industry because what they were doing is growing seed potatoes. So is pretty important because it's isolated from any other growing area, so it could be certified seed. They're doing a lot of fun stuff. They've got a parade. They have a lefse making contests, and they produce a lot of lefse for people to eat because they're all Norwegians and Scandinavians who like that bread. And they also have kings and queens and little princes potato festival next. This one I just learned about also, Matery Potato Festival, is in Indiana, and this has a very much a potato story in terms of reviving an industry or an agricultural product from this part of Indiana. And then they decided that they would, this town used to be called Tater Town because of its potato industry, and so they're reviving the interest in their history by focusing on the potato, even though they don't grow potatoes anymore. Same with Posen. I'm not sure if in Michigan they may still be growing potatoes in this area, but again, it's revival of an industry that is either gone and they want to remember it, or it's coming back, or it's still there. Then this is something, another subject that I completely knew nothing about. They're doing a festival, Wild Potato Days, in Utah, I think it is, yeah. And this is because the early settlers came across wild potatoes growing, and it's a variety of the wild potato of the domesticated cultivar potato, and they're really tiny, but they are edible if you process them. And the settlers realized that native people have been growing these and eating them for years, and so now they've got a festival to call attention to it. And we're going to close with Potato Days in Barnesville. We're going to do a whole program because we're so proud of what they do there. We hope we can get up there someday and visit with them on their barn. It's on the Red River Valley.
I'm exhausted.
I know.
Holy moly.
Anyway,
what about a broccoli festival?
Thanks for joining us. Shows you how important the potato is in these communities, reviving interest, bringing in visitors, supporting local community projects. So there you go.
And maybe he'll stop talking because after all, you can take another look when you look at our video.
Right. See you again another time.
Try to absorb all this.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Bye.
Bye.